I'm not sure we need to get too caught up in the challenge at this time. It's best to focus on the game and what we're trying to play here.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand that.
Systemic challenge could also be someone challenging the system, right? Am I?
Could be. I mean, you could be talking about, politics and the rise of populism or something like this, right? They're challenging.
If we look at, say, the more educated people post it, then maybe there could be more advocacy, for instance, to challenge the way that things are happening and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Yes, I guess we don't have to be right. We just need to be just close enough.
I guess you need to think about, are these elements going to help you construct a story around how you're going to go about addressing this challenge?
Yeah.
So essentially adding up to your final story. Yeah. A compelling narrative that's going to engage people in this ecosystem that you're trying to build.
Should we start building a narrative then?
Yeah.
Okay, what we got? Let's see if we can get a narrative out of what we've already got. There's some nice lines being drawn in. They all seem to be going to one, well, not all, but a few of them are going to one. It's about advocacy. I love it.
Something about sort of building a network of advocates to have access to the right healthcare insights and data.
Yep, let's get it in, right? Shall I start typing?
Yeah.
Went like that. Feel free to change that narrative at any point, anyone.
Yeah, they'll probably put us back into the main room. All right, I think we'll see each other in a bit.
Focus is, does this help us in creating, in this section, a narrative around this challenge? Were those cards useful in helping us do that? Anybody want to share their experience on that briefly from above?
I think it's good. I mean, I'm sorry I talked a lot in the session, but I think, you know, I like the layout, I like the setup, I like the progression. I think the framing piece is really important to get some kind of ground understanding of the situation that we're trying to address. I think it's a little bit difficult sometimes to get, you know, to get your head around that, and it probably takes a little bit longer, as Jonas is indicating. But you know, to illustrate the cards and how these kind of can help to drive a narrative, I think running a session, you probably need to spend more time on that in order to get to some clarity, or perhaps provide some further inputs in terms of the framing things, the elements of the framing that might be worth considering.
Yeah, so we
you know, let's say if you've got the frame around the outside with, you know, social, economic, or around that change, those change parameters, and saying use those to think about the macro changes, use those to think about, let's say, what's not working at the moment, etc. That might be helpful. Just a signposting, perhaps.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we do have a challenge of not understanding this particular issue and of time and so forth. It's the nature of the format. Alex, did you want to add it?
Yeah, I found it very interesting. Sanjay brought in the PESTEL model at the very beginning and the macro changes as some further inspirations of what challenge you could look at, because there are so many changes that might be needed in this context. And then we worked on it as a group and tried to cluster it. And I found it interesting to say, or this idea of, for the 4 first ones until future system, then stay with your theme or your topic and kind of go through those questions in a linear way. And then maybe at the end, when you have different themes, create a narrative that encompasses and entails all of them.
Yeah, so like I said, we do this kind of format with our hubs doing position papers, and as you can imagine, it takes, you know, a number of weeks and lots of conversation, iteration, and so forth. So yes, okay, so there we have it. We'll stay going for the moment because we just got 90. Yep. Hi. Can do. Yep. Quickly. Great, thank you for that input. All right, so let's stay going, and we'll talk about now the second set of cards, which are over here. This is all about understanding the system better, systems inquiry or systems mapping. And it's thinking about what are the factors affecting this challenge. So we're now in this center part of the board. We have the challenge there. And around here, we're going to post up the factors. So you might want to start here. So maybe, I mean, to speak to your point there, maybe as we do it next time, we might do it kind of, I saw two groups doing it differently. Maybe if we do it, if we just take all together, right, instead of individually, if we all take like one card, and then we discuss what we think should be there, and then we go to the next one. Yes. So apologies about that. Didn't have all those instructional details and out, but we'll try that this time. So what we're going to do is grab, you might just want to try, one or two factors this time, not to overdo it, right? So I've already done that here. You can see I grabbed one and I put it down here. Well, I've done a few, right? I've put in health policy is one thing affecting the situation. Health insurance is another. You can see around the edges of the board here, it says the different systems or different spheres, should we say. Social ones are going to be up here. So that might include health, education, governance, policy, law, so on and so forth. Economic ones up here. Business, finance, logistics, commerce, and so forth. Down here, we're going to put factors related to technology and infrastructure, energy, transport, information technology, so on. Environmental ones here, space and built environment and land usage, we're going to put down here. So I've done a few here. You can see, as mentioned, health policy, health sales people, health insurance, pharmaceutical companies, transport infrastructure. So transport infrastructure is a factor I've put up there. We then have actors who are the actors in this system, organizations and so forth. Doctors would be one. So I dragged a card and put up doctors. Pharmaceutical companies might be another. I dragged a card and put them up. After that, we have intervention points. Where might we intervene along these different factors to try and find high leverage places to start to make change happen, start to introduce new innovations. So that's the intervention points. I dragged one down here. So in the context of trying to realize an affordable, accessible healthcare system in rural Kenya, we think doctors are obviously an actor of significance in this system. And to try and make change, you might think about encouraging the doctors to return to their local communities instead of getting this brain drain where they go off to other places. And that might help us build up capacity in local communities for healthcare services. They may support that movement. And then the final one is about a leverage assessment, thinking about how high leverage is this intervention point. We might come up with many intervention points, but what's our capacity to act on that? And is it actually going to realize big changes, systems changes that we want to see come about? So we think this one is high leverage. If we could inspire them to become champions of healthcare in their local communities and start a movement around that. So that's just an example. We have actors, or we have factors first, and then actors, intervention points, and leverage points assessment. And we'll break out again to work on those. I think this time, sorry, we're missing one of our facilitators today, so not everyone has one, but this time we can start with the factor and maybe do one or two and post up what you think those are, have a conversation as a group, and then put an actor in there associated with that, and think about an intervention point and assessing how high or low leverage that might be. That makes sense to everyone. I'm going to set up rooms and you will self-select this time back into your, okay, you're already, it's already set up here. So you'll just go back into the same room, same space you were before, and we'll work as a group this time, just dragging one card across, having a conversation before we move on to the next one. This will be about 12 minutes this time.
Hi.
I am here.
So I think we've done the framing piece, and now we're mapping. Is that right?
We're doing the green card on left.
Yes.
Yeah.
So key actors. Oh, sorry, key factors.
But they're also actors.
Yeah.
I guess this is as difficult as learning any new game, right? Like you spend half the night learning the game before actually playing it.
Which actor could we choose? Any proposals?
So was there anything from our
Framing?
bit up the top, the framing up the top, that we'd like to focus on?
Good idea.
In theory, it should come.
Yeah.
It should be connected.
So advocacy group would be the obvious one, but I don't want to keep pushing that.
But it's a thing that we have a thing on.
Yeah.
This is about practicing the game and not answering the question.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm coming across trying to answer the question. I'm really not trying to answer.
No. That was what I was. He told me to answer the question when we were trying to answer the question.
So what?
Okay, do it. Sorry.
Hello, I'm Shreya. I'm really sorry. I actually had to take a very emergency call, so I just could not join it in the first place, this room. Can somebody please summarize what are we trying to do? I'm on the board already.
No, sorry.
So we've tried to frame the situation which we're dealing with, and now we're picking out one actor who's relevant for our story and our system, and we're trying to describe, I guess, who the actor is and what their role is in the system, I think.
Okay.
So, and I think because it links to our story, we've said someone with a network advocacy type role is someone we want to talk about. So, what do we call this person? A network advocate or community advocate or? Yeah.
I mean, it's hard with all, with the lack of time. There'd be lots of different doing advocacy around all different parts of the system, right? But maybe we should just pick one or something,
Could be someone representing a subset of the community.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Any ideas on what subset that might be?
I'm just looking at a journal paper right now. I'm going to try and really skim it over. Right. So funding is scarce for instance, in this, just according to this quick scheme and this quick paper, funding is scarce for chronic problems. So maybe the advocacy group would be like something around a chronic issue.
Yeah. Okay. Community advocate for those managing chronic conditions.
Yeah, perfect.
And then
I don't think that's really. I'm happy to put the link in, but I don't think it's necessary. Do you want me to put the link in?
So I think it's fine for the game, but I mean you can paste it in. It's easy enough. I think the next question on the card. So it says play this if you see a key actor affecting the situation. Post the name. Yeah, done that, and how the actor is seeing the situation. So if we put ourselves in the shoes of this person, how might they see this situation? So we talked about the healthcare system maybe being under strain. So it could be they don't see enough resources and attention for those with this chronic condition.
Right, well, I've got to dash to my next meeting. It's been good to see the structure of the game, even if we haven't quite managed to make it all the way through it. But I kind of get the drift. I think I would just need a little bit more time to think about it and follow it through. Thank you, everyone.
Have a good day, Nikki.
Bye.
All right, bye.
So what are these people experiencing?
Right, sorry, coming back. So, are we looking at a particular? Sorry, I'm not. I've got.
So I'm just looking at the cards where
Yeah.
we have actor maps.
The actor map, yeah,
And on the card it says, play this if you see a key actor affecting the situation.
yeah.
Post the name and how the actor is seeing the situation.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, I mean, this isn't unique to Africa, is it? But they're seeing the lack of funding, I guess. You know, for a chronic condition, it's an expensive thing to continually manage, right? So,
Yeah.
oh, you've already put that. There you go. Right. Sorry.
All right, should we move on?
Yeah, great. Yeah.
I will copy paste the intervention point. What intervention point could we find for this actor? That could have our leverage.
Yeah. All right. So, how good are they at advocacy? I guess. Where would they be able to do something?
We could imagine some national or African campaigns or worldwide campaigns to a funds for that project, and so yeah, it's funding or funding campaigns. But on
Campaign, yeah. So yeah, they could carry out some sort of campaign of their own, or they could maybe pinpoint some political player to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe a political player's family member has also got that chronic condition.
Yeah. So yeah, depends on their tactics. Yeah. Consensus building.
If collaborating with universities or volunteer work.
Yeah. Any universities or what? What would they be? What value would they be getting from the universities, Shreya?
In terms of volunteering work, of any, if needed, or maybe spreading awareness in general could also be a good thing, I believe.
Another The intervention point could be the patient empowerment, so education, patient education.
Is that an intervention point? I don't know whether that would be. But we haven't investigated the other sides of the game yet, I guess. There was did he mention that there's an economic level? Because that would be, I mean, obviously, I don't know the local detail, but I know enough about chronic condition issues to know that you can make an economic case, can't you, around them? Like if they're managed, it saves X amount of money in hospitals and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So, yeah.
There is an economic, I'm trying to see what they are, the orange ones, sorry. All right. Are we just looking at the green one now? Sorry, I'm losing track a little bit.
Well, I'm conscious I'm writing too much, so I'm going to step back.
See you, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.